And welcome back to the UIA Trusted Partners Podcast. On today's show, I have Amber Bess, real estate agent and investor with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. Amber, how are you today?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Now, for the listeners who haven't had a chance to meet you yet or haven't had a chance to learn about what Berkshire Hathaway Home Services can do, what can it do, and how long have you been servicing the Omaha area?
Well, it's a brokerage that is in real estate, and interesting enough, I think everyone's heard of Berkshire from, Warren Buffett, which that's kind of one of the reasons I like working there, because it does have everyone's heard of the name. And what's interesting enough is my office out in Village Point is the number one office in North America, because it's global wide, but in the United States, my office year after year is number one in North America. So,
which is awesome. Hey, congratulations. I need my applause button.
Because we live in the Midwest, and the houses here aren't as nearly expensive as they are in Florida, California. So
very true.
It's impressive. I've been at Berkshire for 2.5 years. Had my license for about 3 years. Yeah, me and my husband basically started investing in real estate. I love that. Very obsessed with that. It's like my passion. And I was like, well, might as well. We did like our first flip property, which was
very cool.
Nightmare. Lots of stories about that. But and then I was like, well, I'll just get my license. Got my license. Kind of thought it was going to be something I'd do on the side. And then how things go. It just kind of rolled into. I was on a team at Berkshire. Well, first I was at Nebraska Realty, and then I was on a team at Berkshire. Just left the team to go solo, and here I am.
And here we are. Yeah, it's always kind of one of those funny things that, I started it just to kind of do the one thing. Well, now all of a sudden, I'm a career now.
I'm all about getting out of my comfort zone.
I love that.
People, they have this job and they stay there and they'll complain about it. And it's like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to complain about, I didn't really complain about my job. I used to do ultrasounds.
Sure.
So, I loved it, but just to change something different.
Yeah.
So opposite end of the spectrum is sales.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, pretty much. That's definitely pushing your comfort zone.
Right,
that's for sure.
Sure.
But it kind of answers this next question a little bit. But I want to know if there was anything kind of in particular, a certain instance that kind of kicked off or sparks into your memory here about what really started this calling or drive to be in your industry and in this role particularly.
Basically, me and my husband, because we got invested in real estate and just kind of took it to I'm like a sponge. I just soak it all up and love to learn and help people, basically. My thing is, I look at myself as a real estate advisor, so I'm helping people build generational wealth. And then along the way, obviously, helping people, first-time home buyers get their first house, get their dream house. That's still building generational wealth. So,
yeah, I love that. And speaking of first-time home buyers, whether it's, all about a first-time home buyer, it's a couple or individual that have sold in the market before, what kind of makes that process of buying and selling a home so worth it to you?
Like with the first-time home buyers?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's tough because they don't know the process.
Right.
So you got to work with a good lender that's going to handhold and go through everything, because I'm not a mortgage lender, but I can give them some advice. Got to be kind of careful on that.
Sure.
But there's so many programs out there that anybody who has we call it a W-2 job, should be able to afford a house, because there's so many programs out there. There's NIFA, there's grants that are given, and I just don't think people are aware of that. Yeah. So I will educate them on hey, there's these different programs. Go talk to a lender and see what they can offer you.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best advice you can probably give them, because there are so many programs out there just through networking alone, all the different lenders and things I've come in contact with and met. They'll just start telling me all these things like I should just know them. I'm like, I have no idea what half of that was, but I feel like I should maybe sit down and learn about it.
Right.
Because, it is valuable information that homeowners sometimes just they don't think to ask or know to ask, really. Right. So great advice on that part. Now, before we jump way too far ahead here, I'm kind of curious, though, what is your specialty when it comes to property and selling in the real estate industry? Are you more of the commercial side of things, or are you more of a residential agent?
Residential.
Okay.
But I'm super interested in commercial. I have someone that I partner with for that.
Yeah.
Because it's a whole different wheelhouse. It's a whole different beast.
Oh, yeah.
So... But I'm super interested in it, in owning commercial properties. So
Yeah.
So I have a really good group of people that I work with for that.
Love it. Figure I'd ask so that way the viewers at home, when they're watching this, they can be like, oh, okay, I know who to call for this. Okay,
Yeah.
so love that. Now, social media, it's everywhere. It's popular. It's for the best and the worst, I feel like. But
so time consuming.
it can be. It really can be. For all of our viewers out there, first of all, go like and follow what you're doing. Where can we find you to go like and follow?
Let's see. I'm on Facebook, just Amber Bess, and it's spelled Bess as in Sam. And then I'm on Instagram, and my handle is Buy with the Bess.
Clever.
Yes. And then LinkedIn. And then I have a YouTube channel. Yeah, I would love if people would follow that. I go through like houses that me and my husband have worked on. And then I'll post houses like that I'm walking or that I'm selling to. But it's kind of interesting to see the process of when we start a house and we end a house, like if we flip it or if we keep it, buy and hold and keep it as a rental. It's cool to just walk through that process and then have other people watch the YouTube videos and give me feedback.
Where can we find you on YouTube?
I don't know. Somewhere.
Well, it'll be down in the description because I'll link it into the show anyway.
At Living in Omaha, Nebraska shorts. Because I do the shorts videos.
Nope, that makes sense. I need to do more shorts. That's kind of the problem I have. I don't chop our episodes up too much because I have an editor for that.
Rules for it too, because if you go over time, you can't add music to it or something. There just needs to be something where you can take it, and there kind of is, but you take it from YouTube to Facebook to Instagram, and there kind of is, but
it's not a clean.
It's not clean. It's not a clean process.
Yeah, as somebody who shares that pain sharing podcast episodes around, there's not a clean way to do it at all, which is kind of frustrating because you would think all these social media platforms, would maybe talk to each other at some degree.
Right.
No, they don't. Nope. Now, one thing I always like to ask my guests here is, are you a part of any events coming up or anything like that you'd like to promote for either yourself or Berkshire?
Well,
or
I would like to promote. So on Monday, I did a golf outing for Sammy Strong Foundation.
I love the Sammy Strong Foundation, friends of the show.
And they're great. The people who started it, wonderful people. So I want to do a little plug for them.
Absolutely.
They're having a charity. It's a 5K run and a home run derby that is on August 2nd. That'll be at Werner Park. And the charity itself is for pediatric brain cancer. So it's for a great cause.
Love the Sammy Strong Foundation.
Yeah. And it's like a smaller, so I like to support those smaller charity groups that people may not know about.
Definitely. And they're so deserving of it. We had them on the show. We got to learn all about the story, how it got, even started and how it's come all the way this far and how they kind of look back and go, it was like hair on fire in the beginning. And then now it's, we're putting out the fires for people kind of thing. And it's super, super powerful and cool what they do. Go check that episode out. No shameless plug there. But yeah, supporting them and their baseball tournament is fantastic. Or their home run derby, excuse me. I actually believe I'm going to be out there.
Oh, really? Okay. I was there last year, and I think I'll be there this year.
I believe I'm going to be out there as well.
Are you going to run the 5K? Or?
No. If you see me running, you should run. But I am going to go, and I believe I told them I would be helpful with my time and services because I figured, why not have a little live stream going on?
Oh, yeah.
Be able to ask people live and comment live and do some fun things live to maybe encourage some donations and things to help support. So
yes,
that would be hopefully my contribution. We have yet to iron out the details because they're very busy. Yes. So yeah, that is something to keep on your radar. August 2nd for the Home Run Derby for the Sammy Strong Foundation. Now back to Amber and being the agent and investor that you are with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. What do you feel like is something that, us on the other end of your industry kind of don't ever get to see? What's kind of that behind the curtains work, so to speak, that you kind of feel like should get some spotlight?
Yeah, I mean, first off, I had no clue how hard, again, I came from the medical field, so I had no clue how hard the agents work. No clue. Because, I mean, if you think about it, you're showing all these houses and like you don't get paid till the end, so you may never get a house under contract for somebody and you put in all this work. It's the long game. It's a long game. And then, we're coordinating with lenders, inspectors, appraisers, contractors. There's just a lot of things going on behind the scenes, the title company. And another thing is legality of the paperwork. So we have to go over the paperwork with them because, I mean, it was written by a lawyer. Some days I feel like a lawyer, like explaining this paperwork and knowing just all the laws, all the rules. We write up like addendums and things, and they need to be in a proper wording. So you are protected and you're protecting your client. So that is the thing that I didn't know. People are like, oh, you just go show houses, like these beautiful houses, and nope. That's not the case.
Isn't that always fun to learn too? It's a big old stop sign to the face. Nope. I
had a video of I was like at this Parade of Homes, this $1 million house, and then I was like, what people think real estate looks like, and then what it really looks like, and it's me trying to put the for sale sign in the ground. It's so hard. You have to like stand on the sign, and I'm like, I have no muscle, so I'm just like sitting there beating it with a hammer, and in the winter it's like impossible. Like,
good luck. Yeah, that's one of those you need like just hammer and stake, and then just tape it to the stake.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I understand some of those struggles, and I think that's a lot of things people maybe don't think about is, somebody's got to go put those signs up in the winter, somebody's got to go take them down when they're done, somebody's got to go almost pretty much always be advertising yourself, so to speak. Like, it's constant. And so I give real estate agents a lot of respect in that regard, because it's a lot of moving parts and it's a lot of things to keep tabs of. Like, oh, well, I've got signs over here, here, and here. We got to remember to go grab that one later. So kudos to you guys for keeping that all organized. I'm a little too squirrel-brained to actually do that.
Well, I just got an assistant, so she's been super helpful. And then I have like a CR, like processes.
Sure.
It's all about like automated processes, which have been really helpful. But yeah.
Yeah, some of my tasks saved my life. Yeah.
Checklist. I got a checklist.
Absolutely. Now, for the viewers at home here, might be thinking about taking that first step towards home buying. Honestly, in your opinion here, and maybe your professional aspect here, what is something that maybe we should have ready or be prepared for when we take that step?
I think getting pre-approved, but you could meet with a real estate. I feel like everyone starts looking on Zillow and they kind of get the itch, and then find a real estate agent. I mean, preferably that would be me. And then I can kind of talk to you about the whole process, give you a few names of lenders, or if you have one in mind, great. And then just go get pre-approved, because we can't start looking at houses until you have that pre-approval.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Or otherwise, it's just a big old waste of time for everybody.
Yeah. I mean, I've done it before, but it just, so then your buying power.
Right. Which is healthy and something that you need kind of ahead of time before the wheels start going.
Yes.
So always a great piece of advice there. So definitely go get pre-approved before you start talking to the trusted professionals like Amber. Now, I'm kind of curious because your industry and my industries coincide a bit. And boy, oh boy, has it been a rocky boat in the insurance world. I know that impacts your world significantly as well, but I'm kind of curious, what's some of the challenges or obstacles that have really impacted your business that you've had to overcome, either for the organization or for your clients themselves?
We had this, it was through the NAR legal settlement. So, I mean, now we have to have people sign paperwork before we show them houses, which, I mean, I don't mind doing that. But yeah, insurance costs are going up, so that makes it difficult when we're running, these cost sheets for people. We don't really know what to put for the insurance. We're kind of just putting a certain percentage. People just need to shop around for that. And the same thing with lender fees. You got to shop around for that and know exactly, like, there's always, escrow. People don't understand escrow, and that's where all these closing, that's why you could come to closing and you need $10,000. People don't understand. It costs a lot of money to close a house.
And there's a lot of moving parts with it. And that's why you got to kind of shop, like you would say, you got to talk to the right people to kind of get you in line and make sure everything's going to line up correctly for you.
Yes, a lender that's going to just kind of handhold and explain everything to you.
Yeah, I think that's a great place to start, because lenders are and can be very, very powerful in the information category. And I know a lot of great ones out there. So it's all just about, if you don't like that particular lender, you didn't get a lot of information from, go check out another one. It never hurts. They're usually free to consult. So it never hurts to go check out another lender if you just needed some better explanation, I guess is probably a good way to phrase that.
I think also interest rates being high. That's a struggle for people. But I always tell them now is the time to buy when they're high, because you're not going to have as many because everyone's just waiting on the sidelines, right? Mm-hmm. So now's the time to buy, and you can always refinance that.
Yep.
If you buy when the rates go down, then there's more people that are going to be out in the market, which means you're going to get more offers. Houses are going to go up. It's supply and demand. So you're going to pay 10, 20 grand more for that same house. Like, you can never get that money back, but you can always refinance a loan.
Yeah, that's actually really good advice as well, because I know that's probably one of the biggest things I hear right now is interest rate this, interest rate that, and it affects everything, right?
Right.
But to your point exactly, hey, it might be a little high at the moment. If there's a property you're in love with, grab it, refinance it down the road, restructure it a little bit, and you're probably going to end up better off.
Right. And there's things you can do, like mortgage lenders can explain this better, but like a 2-1 buy down to buy down the rates. So that's always an option.
Yep, and that's why you talk to trusted professionals. Amber can point you in the right direction. I can point you to a couple of loan officers and mortgage lenders like that could help you out, but I'm not going to be able to help you out with that. I'll be able to help you with the insurance, though.
The insurance side, yeah.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that's going to be kind of a little bit of a rocky road because, unfortunately, and I know I'm the bearer of bad news, rates ain't going back to what they were. I mean,
they say Nebraska and Florida are like the two highest.
We beat Florida last year.
Properties, of course.
Of course.
Nebraska and Florida are like the highest.
Yeah, and we actually beat Florida last year.
Oh.
Yeah, with total loss amount. So, so that's why not super fun in the insurance world, because unfortunately people's premiums are going to go up. Like that is just the bottom line of it. We are back in severe weather, so we are now a big loss state.
And taxes go up.
Because when it rains, it pours. If we can't get higher insurance, well, we'll just do more taxes too. Yeah, because that's needed. But I did see, as I throw my pen down, just for a little timeliness here, I did see the elections were last night. Do you know the results of it?
No, absolutely.
I believe I got told this morning that John Ewing potentially had won. So confirm that on the internet. But a little different.
Are we talking about politics now?
I don't know why, but just top of mind, I was just like, there was something I was going to circle that back with.
This is a slippery slope.
There was something I was going to circle that back with.
Okay.
And I'm drawing a blank on it, right? Because it was something to do with property and the taxes as well.
Okay.
And I was going to draw something there, but I forget my conclusion. So
there's a lot with landlord laws that are a little upsetting, because if you're renting a property, you want somebody like me, somebody local, to be your landlord. You don't want these big corporations, because it's going to take them forever to fix things. They may not fix it. I mean, it's just great to have that relationship. Like we're so lucky we have the best tenants, and we're very forgiving of things. And so they're trying to just pass laws to make things, like I've heard like rent control and stuff. And it's like, well, that's not fair, because our taxes go up and our insurance goes up, and we're not making all this money by owning one property. Like, we're not cash flowing all this money. It's a long game. It's about building assets for generational wealth.
Yep, and I think that's kind of the not confusion, but kind of just the cloud that's over the politic realm right now. And I think that was the circle back I was going to try to make, because I work a lot with rental properties for insurance as well. Okay. So I think that was where I was going with that, was I was trying to form my thought around what was relevant around that conversation. And it was about the rental properties and different landlord restrictions and things like that were in play. So that'll be fun to keep up with and see what changes there.
Right.
On to better things, though. Because politics are so fun. On to some better things, though, like wanting to know and kind of getting an insight as to one of the best moments that you've kind of had that real estate's been able to give you.
I like to network. I was in the medical field, so just totally different job where you're just clocking in and clocking out. So I do like to network and, meet new people. And I love the mindset of business. I mean, especially real estate. Like at my brokerage at Berkshire, they're really big into mindset, and I love that. And just like surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals, other people that invest in real estate, and just other agents.
I love that, because then it turns into almost the meeting of the minds when you really need some help.
Right. Yeah. Yes, everybody's very helpful, and there's just things you're learning every day. And again, things changing.
Yeah, I love that, because that's very similar here in our agency as well. The three ladies that have been in charge, they've been doing it for about 30 years. So we have a huge wealth of knowledge that gets kind of taught to us and passed to us as it goes forward. So I'm kind of drawing a parallel with you here, because it's invaluable. It really is. And you can learn a lot of mistakes to not do before you do them. So
yeah, and I think just like making mistakes is how you grow. If you don't make mistakes, you're not growing.
You got to take a chance.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's always the people that don't take the chance. They sit there and, they just go, okay, well, I don't know why I'm not making more. I don't know why I'm not doing this. Well, sometimes you got to put yourself out there a little bit. You got to throw it into the wind and just see what happens.
Zone,
yeah.
For sure.
Now, I am a little curious because I don't do a lot of reading these days. I need to get back into it, but I've been a little too obsessed with my garden as of late.
Your garden?
Yes. Yes. Planting some peppers and things for the summer here. I'm excited about those, but I should probably
Anything else to grow there?
Mostly just the peppers. I might grow some.
With.
Yeah, easy to work with. I might try some watermelon. I'm still kind of debating because I got to get that soon if I do.
Yep.
But watermelon kind of spreads and takes over, so I'm not sure if I want to do that.
Kind of hard to grow.
They can be. My dad used to grow them back in Taylor, and it was just one of those that they'll vine into everything else.
Yeah.
So you have to almost grow them separately from everything else. But very similar to like pumpkins and tomatoes. Yes. They'll just vine out. So might grow some raspberries as well. Debating that as well.
Yes, we have raspberries. They spread.
Yeah, and I should get my, not to divert our conversation.
We're just gardening.
Yeah, I know. So you see what happens when you get me on a tangent here.
I'm really good at that. I'm really good at just getting people off. I get circle back around.
Yep, exactly. Just a little sidestep here. My grandpa used to grow yellow berries out in Colorado, and it's the in-between of blackberries and raspberries.
Oh, wow.
They look exactly the same, but they're golden.
And they taste the same too?
They taste the in-between. So it's kind of tart, but it's really sweet.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, they're very delicious. They don't grow everywhere though, so they're kind of tough to grow.
Wow.
So I want to try to grow some of those. That might be a next year problem. So we'll see about that. That's my digression for the day. Okay. But in that same light, because I was mentioning books, I'm kind of curious, especially in your industry and my industry, I should probably be reading a little bit more, but I keep up with the news on it. So that's kind of my reading for it. But in your industry, there's a lot of great advice out there to help kind of navigate, and especially even just in life in general. Are there any mentors or books that have really kind of stood out to you that have either helped you kind of push along through this journey or maybe just kind of helped figure things out?
I think for the real estate investing side, I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, and it's like a cliche. Everybody says that changed my life and getting into real estate. It's just a whole different way of looking at money. Like money is a tool, and that's just not really how I was raised. Really, so
right.
Having money work for you. And I actually met Robert Kiyosaki. He's the one who wrote that book. I met him at a financial conference in Scottsdale. Yeah. And then anything written by Brandon Turner, he used to be on Bigger Pockets. Anything written by him, podcasts. Now I'm kind of into the more mindset thing. I got the investing stuff. Now I'm just more into the mindset. I like Mel Robbins and just reading a lot of books. The Power of Now. Just all about mindset now.
I love that. It's one of those things a lot of people, I think, in viewership land out there kind of hear us talk about books and things like that and mindset adjustments and how important they can be. I think they hear us talk about it a lot. I always challenge people to try something small. Try a mindset change that's really small and you'll notice a difference. And then you'll see what we're talking about when you're applying it to a business aspect or, hey, just a different portion of life outside of work that you have to apply it to. So very important. I always love to kind of promote some of that mental wellness of just, hey, push a little comfort zone, reset a little bit, and try to sharpen what you got, right?
Right. And just being grateful.
Yeah. Having a grateful outlook is a huge bonus for people. The ones that sit there and go and just head in the clouds, I did everything and blah, blah, blah.
Don't compare yourself to other people.
Right.
It's I'm just very competitive with myself, which I need to give myself a little more grace, but.
Yeah, back in my my old radio life, it was always one of those just mottos of there's other DJs in the world, of course, but you're not them. So be you. Yeah. So just be you.
Yeah.
And that's why.
All you can be.
It's all you can be.
Yeah.
Except, in today's world, you might be confused. I don't know. Today's world is kind of crazy anymore, but you can be crazy, you can be confused, but you're always you.
Sure.
Now, my last question here before we shift into kind of the fun personal side of things, I am just curious, what is something you want listeners to know more about, either when it comes to your industry or about you?
With real estate, again, I think it's easier than people think to get into a house, like those first-time home buyers, especially if you're handy. And I think there's ways to get involved in investing your money in real estate. I'm a proponent of diversifying your portfolio, but there's ways, if you don't have money, there's ways that you can still invest in real estate. You can get creative. And I talk to kids in their 20s and they're investing in storage units, and it's very, I always try to like educate the younger generations, because I always think like, I wish I would have known this.
Right.
Woulda, shoulda, could have. But what I can do is just like mentor people and give back to the younger generations to make good choices.
Hey, make those good choices. Contact Amber today, of course, your trusted real estate agent and investor with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. Amber, really appreciate the time that you've taken so far in the interview here. Now, on to the fun personal questions.
Okay.
Now, this one is kind of the news segment here. Now, you can have the choice of having me answer these, or you can make them a kind of a general topic for us to kind of go back and forth with. But I'll have you pull 3 random cards out of the box here. Friend of the show, Blake Martin with BrandNet, got us those.
Oh. And
you can pull from anywhere in here. This is the used category back on this side. But I'll have you do 3, and then, your choice of if you want me to answer those or if you want them as general topics.
Okay, if you knew that you were going to inherit a fortune, how would your plans for the future change?
Ooh, that's a really good one. Whew, if I was inheriting a fortune, well, sorry, insurance life. I don't know if I would be sticking around in this, because if I had a fortune that I inherited, I would, first off, I'd start with talking to a financial advisor, because they're a lot better with numbers than I am.
Yep.
But I would clear any and all debt that I had. I would probably invest in some property. And then I'd probably go to a tropical climate of some sort and try to do some radio down there in my rest of my days.
Cool. I love that. I love that.
Yourself?
I think I would, kind of all the things you said, invest in real estate. And I'd want to start up a nonprofit for a dog rescue.
Oh, yeah. Love that.
And then just kind of help run that.
If I have a fortune, you never have to ask for donations.
Right.
It's like, wow.
Yeah. It would
It'd just be all about the animals.
Yeah. It's just, no donations. We're not going to take donations.
Yeah, and I think that'd be one of the most powerful ones. Is like, all right, well, they don't ask for money; they just want you to adopt the animal. It makes it all about the animal. So, I love that. Any others in there that you thought were good, or do you want to draw 2 new ones? Because
I'm not getting it. Okay, no. Let's just do another one. What's your favorite reality TV show? Oh gosh. Okay.
Oh my goodness, my favorite reality TV show. I don't watch a lot of reality TV for that specific reason, but back in the day, there was something about the Jersey Shore that I could not stop watching, because, oh my goodness, it was so funny just with how absurd they behaved.
Yes, the drama.
Oh my gosh. I was like, this has got to be one of the worst programs on television, but I couldn't stop watching it.
It's like I think The Real World
was right about the same.
Reality shows that came out.
Yep, and Big Brother and
yes.
Oh my goodness, yeah. You? Okay.
I despise reality TV.
Me too.
I don't watch
terrible.
But, okay, lately I've been watching it because my assistant told me, or I told her, if she read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, then I would watch Selling the OC. Because real estate, you know.
Sure.
I think that's why people want to get into real estate, because they see that and they're like, oh gosh, it's not like that at all. Like, there's so much behind the scenes, like, not just going and looking at these luxury houses, but there's so much drama in it. I've been watching it at the end of the night because it's just like, you don't need to think, but it's just so much drama. I just can't even handle so many.
I mean, I like my cooking shows.
Yeah.
I'm more about that. And then if I'm branching out, Property Brothers is actually kind of a fun one I like to watch from time to time.
That's good. I don't really watch TV. I don't really have time
That's
to watch
my thing.
TV.
I'm not a huge TV watcher, but, you know, neither here nor there.
Right.
No, I love them. Random questions, fun, and some others that were just not up for the task. But we'll move on to our other questions that we have prepared for you. So I love asking this one because I get a lot of different answers, but I get a lot of one particular answer. I'll see if it gets mentioned. If I'm coming into Omaha from out of town and I ask you, hey, what's your Mount Rushmore that I've got to go check out? What are you telling me? Hey, you've got to see these.
I think what everybody probably says, and I might be saying it too, is College World Series.
Second best answer.
Okay. And the reason I say that is because that's where, remember when I was at Rosenblatt? Mm-hmm. That's where I met my husband.
Oh, yeah.
And then it became the zoo.
Yep.
The zoo bought it. And then that's where he proposed. And then we got married. No, we didn't get married there. But that would
we got married.
but there's like this memorial to Rosenblatt, and like we have this little brick on there that says when we met and when we got married.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Very, very cool. Yeah, College World Series is actually the second most answered.
What's the first?
The zoo.
I was thinking.
The zoo is definitely always the big.
Right.
Oh yeah, you got to go see that. But it's so good.
That we have that nobody else has too. I mean.
Yeah.
And like Berkshire Hathaway days and the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm not from Omaha originally. Berkshire Hathaway days. What necessarily is it?
It's a stockholders meeting where I think Warren Buffett and I'm sure some of the other talk. They have like a fun run or a 5K run, I think, and then they have something at Borsheim's that you can go to. They have discounts at Nebraska Furniture for shareholders. I'm sure there's other stuff. But.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was kind of curious because I've always heard it kind of get kicked around that it's a thing that exists, and I'm like, well, that's interesting, but not having any context to it doesn't make me feel like I need to go inquire about it. But no, good to know. But yeah, any local restaurants or businesses that have kind of been top of mind lately that you've just loved, or hey, I found this new restaurant that I just was awesome.
Me and some friends went and ate at that Cleo's.
I haven't been there yet.
Yes, and Papillion really lacks. I live in Papillion, and they lack on the restaurant scene. They really do.
They're tough. They're tough.
But they have that Talus is good, and then Gracie's Pizza is good.
I've heard Gracie's is great. Yeah, shout outs to all these businesses. There's one, I always draw a blank on it, and I feel so bad about it. Sautéed, I think is the name of it. No, that's not right. It's right there in downtown Papillion, and it's a nice little restaurant. The chef is very popular. Sauced. Thank you.
There.
I want to go there, and I just haven't been able to get to that side of town. But that's one I've been told I need to go try because.
And I live right there. I need to do it.
Well, hey, you go try it. You text me and tell me how.
I'll report back.
I love it. Now, my very last question here on the day: what is something here in Omaha or Papillion, La Vista area? I'd say it's all kind of the same because we turned into Denver. We absorbed everything.
Exactly.
But what is something here in Omaha or the general area that you wish more people either knew about or gave more support to?
So I just learned about this place called, everyone's going to laugh, Hot Shops. It's like an art. It's downtown. What's really weird is like within a matter of like a week or 2 weeks, 3 different people had talked to me about Hot Shops, and I had never heard of it before. I'm like, I have to go to this place. Like, there's a calling that I need to go to Hot Shops. And then the 50 Mile March.
Love the 50 Mile.
Yeah, they had a charity or a fundraiser there, and so then I went there, and really cool place.
Yeah, I know Blake Martin with Fran. He actually holds a lot of events out there too. Mm-hmm. Love supporting them, and honestly, it's a really cool facility. Like, it's very cool. Yeah. So if you haven't checked it out, shout outs to Hot Shops. Very cool. You have to get them on the show sometime. They're tough.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. All right, Amber, that's about the end of the show here. Is there anything that you want to leave the listeners off with or anything that I missed?
I think you covered it pretty good. Just, Nailed it. Just reach out to me if you want to know anything about real estate investing or if you need an agent. I mean, I work with anybody residential, whether it's like first time acreages, new construction. I have some experience in that and pretty much anything.
Love it. I'll have your information linked down in the show below. Of course, your YouTube show as well.
Yeah.
I'll have that linked because, hey, support everybody. Be a friend. Tell a friend. Share it to a friend. But Amber, I want to thank you for coming on to the show and taking time out of your day today.
Thank you.
Of course. And thank you, listeners, for taking time out of your day. Of course, we'll always have more next time right here on the UIA Trusted Partners Podcast.